All right, guys, so I'm out here today. It's been raining, although it quit a couple hours ago, but it's still moist outside. So what I decided to do is go ahead and get this stuff prepped out for Raptor liner. So I've got this all masked up, and I've got this Scotch brighted. So this is pretty much ready to blow off, wipe down with wax and grease remover, and then shoot. And then I've started on these are the rear splash aprons that go back here behind the inner fender, and I've already got them painted the trim black, but now I'm prepping them for the outside where the Raptor liner goes. I need to get some masking paper on that one, and then that one will be done, and then I need to start on that one. But I also need to prep the underneath side of the fenders and also the underneath side of the inner fenders. I also wanted to paint with the Raptor liner the back side of this lower air dam that I made, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough Raptor liner. But I'm going to go ahead and get this prepped and ready just in case. I've still got to do some putty work for, pinholes, craters, or whatever in there. And then I need to reprime it, but I thought I would go ahead and do the Raptor liner on the back side, and then it'll be done, and I can just mask it off with some masking tape. But anyway, so this is my lower air dam that I made. I get a few questions pretty regularly about this. I've showed it in a few videos, but this was made from an original front bumper from a 55. It was pretty rough old bumper. And I bought brand new chrome smoothie bumpers. I have them on I have the one on the rear, but it's called a smoothie bumper. There's no guards and there's no visible bolts. They're just chrome smoothie one-piece bumpers. And I bought one for the front and rear. So when I mocked it up on the car in mock-up stage, I built this to meet up to the bottom of it. So I had to cut sections of metal out of this in several places and weld it back together. And then I thinned it down. I built brackets and fit them up on there so it'll completely bolt on under there, be pretty stable. It really takes up the space, is what I made it for. It takes up the space that you have between the bottom of your front rocker to the ground to the bottom of your front bumper, because on a 55 Chevy, the front bumper's way up in the air versus the rocker. So this kind of brings it down, and then, coming across here, walking by, the car's going to look extremely low. When I get the front end on it and the bumper and all that stuff, it's going to be a little bit lower. So I like my cars low. It's just what I've always liked, and I've built a lot of lowered vehicles. But anyway, I like the look of it. It's going to be pretty cool. I didn't put anything on the bottom. You see guys that have, on sometimes they build Camaros and stuff like that. They'll build a lower air dam, and it has a piece that usually comes out like this, like a flat piece of sheet metal going across here, and it gives it a really aggressive look. But I was trying to kind of keep it true to, I guess, a 55 Chevy in a way, because this matches what the bottom of the bumper looks like. So it looks like it's going to be with it. So I will paint the outside of this trim black here, and that way it's not in your face. But you probably wouldn't even see it coming down the road because it's black, but walking up to it or being close to it, you would notice it. But I think it'll be cool. I did the mail slot in it for the transmission cooler for airflow into it. But anyway, I think it's just a neat little thing that I built here. But I did, kind of like I did my chassis, all these brackets and stuff was welded, and then I bevel ground the welds a little bit and then put filler on my finger and went around them, then blocked them out with a piece of tubing. So the brackets look like they're molded into it. Same way with this, everything's all smooth, transition's nice and smoothed out. But I got 2 bolts that are in here, and then on the underneath side there's another straight across bracket, and it takes 2 more bolts over here. So there's 8 bolts on each side here, and then it bolts underneath there and there. So it should be pretty stable, but I think it's going to be pretty neat. Excellent use for an old front bumper, yeah, I think. So anyway, I just bolted on there so you guys can check it out. But some people, I showed this and it wasn't on the car and I was talking about it, and some people just don't understand, what I was talking about or trying to get them to visualize. So that kind of gives you more of a visual. But the front bumper bolts on, and it'll kind of be out here like this. So this kind of goes in behind a little bit and up in just a little bit, but you will see, that much of it basically sticking out. And it's basically just filling that void of the bottom of the front bumper to the ground so it matches the rocker. So I'm going to get back on this. I haven't checked the weather, but I'm hoping tomorrow there's no rain in the forecast, and that way I can get that stuff Raptor lined and it'll be done. That's one thing checked off the list. And I'll have to let it set for a couple of days, and then I'll have to paint the trim black on the top side here on this inlay section. But and then I need to sand and buff the strip of gloss black that goes across here. It's basically the top side of this part. That'll have to be sanded and buffed because you see it behind the bumper, between the grill and the bumper. So it's a little tedious stuff that I got to do, but this is going to suck masking all this stuff off. I don't think I'm going to have enough masking supplies. I've got enough plastic for the fenders and inner fenders. I just don't think I have enough tape. So I'll have to probably go across the street to Tractor Supply and get some more, but you get the idea. Well, it took me a half a day to prep these parts for Raptor liner. So these inner fenders turned out good. The rear aprons turned out pretty good. The underneath splash apron turned out pretty good. And I almost got the entire fender done and ran out. How awesome is that? I really thought that one would do all of it, but it didn't. So I was putting it on pretty heavy, but the thing feels really heavy. So I was thinking, yeah, I'm good, but the siphon tube doesn't go, it still lacks that much going down in the bottom of that. So I guess I could put a piece of rubber hose on the end of it or something. I don't know. I might be able to finish the other fender. It chunked out a couple of big pieces when it started getting low back in here, and I don't like that, so I'm going to go in here and try to razor blade them off here in a little bit. So I'm going to see if O'Reilly's can get me one. I don't know if they can or not. I think I got that one at Tulsa at the paint supply. If O'Reilly's can get me another one, I need to see what the recoat window is. I haven't read it yet, but I hope I can go back over that one lightly and finish it up where I didn't quite get it done. I almost got that dang thing. Man, that's irritating. I guess I could try to put a piece of tubing on the end of that and try it again, but I don't think it's going to be enough. But I don't like the two big chunks down there. I might be able to get them off while they're still wet, though. I don't know. What an irritation. Half a day's worth of work just to prep those parts. That's a lot of work. Alright guys, so I got some of my parts Raptor lined. I did not have enough to do that fender there. I really didn't even get this one finished. So I sprayed these yesterday. So when I noticed I was going to run out, or when I did run out, I called my local O'Reilly's to have him order me a box in. He said that was coming out of Springfield and it would be Tuesday before he could get it. I was like, ah, shoot. So I told him, never mind, I'd go to Tulsa tomorrow and get it. So I get up this morning, I drive to Tulsa to the paint supply store, and they don't have any singles. All I've got's the 4-bottle case, and I did not have the money to buy 4 of those. At that paint store, it's $224 for a box of 4 of them, and I really only need 1 bottle. So anyway, I got back from Tulsa a few minutes ago, and I called my O'Reilly's and ordered another single. So it will be here tomorrow at 9:15. But I am going to miss my recoat window, which is 24 hours for Raptor liner. So I'm going to have to go in here and sand this, which I've got to sand some of it anyway, where the thing started spitting big chunks when it was getting low. That was the last thing I sprayed. But, man, I'm telling you, can't catch a break sometimes. I kind of wondered if that 1 bottle was going to do everything because, you know, I put the stuff on pretty heavy. So at least I got some of this crap done. But now I can move on to painting the rear section of the top of the splash apron with the trim black. Inner fenders are done. Those splash aprons are done. They're painted on both sides. But anyway, so it kind of sucks. It'll be tomorrow before I can finish these up. I was hoping to do that today and get it knocked out. Then I could have them out of the way, but it just didn't work out. So while I was at the paint store, I bought a few needed items, just little crap that I needed. Needed a couple of red Scotch Brights, some masking tape, and I got me some mixing cups. I also went over to American Upholstery Supply in Tulsa. Very, very large automotive upholstery supply store. and I actually have an account there. But I got some wire to run through the seat cover listings. I got some carpet, and I got me some 10-foot 1/2 inch sew foam. So anyway, I got this is the rest of the stuff I needed to finish my interior. And the carpet is actually for my trunk floor, for the wood panel I have cut. But this is, I don't know, it's fairly thick, I guess. But it's not exactly the one that I wanted. This is what I got before, but I just didn't have enough. This is the remnant of what I had left, because I'd done another car with this. But this stuff's really, really plush feeling. I really, really like it. And it flexes. You can kind of pull it a little bit and get it around corners and edges and stuff. So I took this with me for him to match it up, and he said this is the same stuff, but it looks like it's a little bit more smashed. And he said that it was the very end of the roll and it was tightened up inside itself, but he only had 1.5 yards left, and all I needed was a yard to cover this little panel, so he gave me the extra 1/2 yard for free. So I guess I'm going to try to vacuum it and see if I can get that up. It just looks rough. He used a little brush on it here, and it almost like it screwed it up a little bit. I mean, it may, I guess brushing on it a little bit makes it look a little better. But anyway, so I got one flexible wire. This is the wire that you'd put through the listings on the seat covers. This has the protective coating on it. This was called a flex wire, is what he called it. This thing will actually curve around, and I'm going to need that for some of the curved areas of the seat. And then I went ahead and bought just a regular, you know, stiffer type wire that I can cut down. I can cut these down to what I need. But so I went ahead. This was sitting there by the door. It's 10 foot for 40 bucks, 1/2 inch sew foam. So I went ahead and grabbed that. So in all, it cost me 68 bucks for 2 wires, a yard of carpet, and 10 foot of sew foam. So I didn't think it was too bad, but it just kind of sucks when I'm, you know, on a mission trying to finish something. I just can't quite get stuff done. You know what I mean? So I don't want to, I can't really sand and buff the fenders because I got them covered, you know, with plastic and taped up and everything. So these will pretty much have to stay that way because I still need to sand and buff the outside of them. But I've got other stuff I can do. So I'm kind of thinking I might move on to the side trim and get those masked up and primed and painted. Do that today, I guess. And then I need to move on to my flippers, which I've started on over there. They're I actually had a table in here earlier and yesterday and had that on there, but I had to use the table yesterday to spray the stuff on. But it's getting close. I mean, really not too far away, but I'll get it. All right, guys, so I got my brand new Excel HEI distributor out here, and I took the air cleaner assembly and all that stuff off, and then I started getting ready to pull that HEI distributor out of here because, in case you didn't catch the other videos, this distributor is made up from a bunch of old distributors, and the coil doesn't match the module, and no telling how old the coil is. It's an old original GM coil in it. So I want to make sure that it's firing as good as it can before I go in and start tuning the carburetor, you know, leaning it out or riching it up, whatever I need to do, because if the coil's weak, it's, you know, not going to have a correct reading on a plug. What I'm kind of hoping is the new coil's got a little bit hotter of a spark, and it'll help clean the plugs up a little bit, and then I can get it tuned up. But anyway, so getting ready to finish that up here in a little bit, get the distributor changed. And then I need to, once I get it changed, I need to start it up, let it run for a little bit, and then I need to time it. Then I'm going to work on the carburetor tuning, see if I can get that all tuned up, and then it should be, as far as engine stuff, I think finished. So another thing that I did, I went ahead and upholstered the trunk floor panel that I had made, and which I'm going to lift it back out of there. I see a problem. I kind of wondered about it when I put it in there, and then I got it in there and mocked up my little side panel there, and sure enough, so this is a masonite panel, and this is a 5-gallon paint bucket mixing stick, and I've cut it down. These are 2 wooden GM letters from Walmart, or 2 letters from Walmart. You can get the whole alphabet there. But anyway, they're like 79 cents or something. But anyway, I did the barred GM logo raised in the floor, then spray glued it on there, and then burnished around it and everything. But what I got going on here is this. I've got this piece of masonite cut out right here for this raised spot of the filler neck, and it actually sunk in because I just basically, there's nothing here from there to there, so this is just kind of loose carpet. So what I'm going to do is pull it back out, and I'm going to cut a piece of 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch probably sew foam. I think I'll do 1/4. And I'm going to cut it out exactly that same shape as the wood, and then spray glue that to the carpet, and then stick it back in there, and it should fill the void there of this where it's fallen in right there. But anyway, I've got panels here that'll be going in the car. These are the templates. I have two that are already cut for left and right where they fit really nice, but that's the reason this has to be filled. But anyway, so I still have to cut out the piece that'll go across here. There'll be a wall right here going down, so you won't see any of that. But anyway, so what I did is the trunk floor has actual cut pile carpet on it. That's exactly what I've got in my car's cut pile. I do not have loop in it. And the side panels will be upholstered in two-tone, just like the door panels, with 55 Bel Air 4-door front door stainless door trim with the little V in it. So anyway, it'll have a piece going across the back, and it'll be two-toned with the black Alante and the gray straw cloth, so it'll match. So basically, it matches, the floor matches, and the side panels will match the upholstery of the car. And then I've got remnants of my suede that I was going to try to do some inserts in these notch, inserts in the trunk lid, because my headliner's that suede stuff. So it would have matched, like the roof would have matched, the floor would have matched, and the side panels and everything will match the interior of the car. But I'm pretty happy with it other than that, but I just need to pull it back out of there. It's just laying in there right now. I need to pull it back out, cut a piece of 1/4 inch sew foam to fit down in there, spray glue it to the back of the carpet, and then that should be good to go. But anyway,